I will take whatever handout, whatever help. Like, let me tell you something. Give it all. When you go to Atlanta, go to the strip club. It don't matter which one you go to.
Okay.
I get it. You have moments of weakness, but do you know how many dudes we turn down? It dawned on me that I could do anything in the world that I want.
It's Lauren LaRosa, and this is BET Talks. And the woman that we have coming up next, I mean, this phenomenal woman, okay? NAACP Image Award-winning actress.
It never gets old.
Okay? Some people may know you from Snowfall, Harlem, Both Eyes Open, The Piano Lesson, P-Valley, Paradise Lost, Unexpected. Y'all, I could keep going for days because sis is out here working. She is booked. She is busy. She is Big Bean, not the little one, Miss Gail Bean. Let me tell y'all, okay, off camera, this woman just prayed for me. And we're not just talking today because I feel like we are flowing. We are in our synergy. And when I see you on camera, that is what I feel. So I know that that's what the people going to feel today. And when I say NAACP Image Award winner, Gail, you lit up.
Yes. I'm going to be honest, I forget. So each time it feels like I just won. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Okay, so I want to start with some icebreakers.
Okay.
So you're not from Atlanta. You are from...
I'm from Stone Mountain. I'm from the east side.
So with you being from the east side, this icebreaker is to figure out a little bit more about you from those roots. So I'm going to throw something out there. It's like a this versus that. You have to choose one thing.
Okay.
So lemon pepper wings versus barbecue chicken wings.
Barbecue. Hot lemon pepper.
Hot lemon pepper. You
Fry hard.
I said lemon pepper wings. What you say?
Hot lemon pepper.
Yeah, yours is different.
Just lemon pepper is crazy.
Really? Okay.
Okay, when you go to Atlanta, go to the strip club. It don't matter which one you go to.
Okay.
Go to a strip club, get wings, fry hard, hot, with lemon pepper sprinkles. Mm-hmm. And you can just say hot lemon pepper, they gonna know.
Okay, so living and working in Atlanta, or would you choose to live and work in LA? You've done both.
I love Atlanta. I would choose Atlanta over LA.
I'm not mad at that.
The work?
What's the
work
better?
Work in LA.
Not quality of work, but
work in Atlanta because I want my people to get work too.
I love that.
Work in Atlanta. Live in Atlanta, work in Atlanta. Pay taxes and vote in Atlanta.
What do you feel like is more right now? Because there's been like such a shift in what Hollywood is and where Hollywood is. Right now, if Gail was starting her journey today, would she have to move to LA like you did to begin it, or would you stay in Atlanta?
No, because of COVID, the pandemic caused everybody to shut down their brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. So casting directors are now taking tapes virtually. Everything is virtual. Like, right. I haven't been in an audition room since January 2020.
I went back and watched Insecure, just as an adult wanting to rewatch stuff. And I was like, mind you, I've seen it already. And I'm like, that's Gail. Like, this is the... And I was like, okay, let me go back and watch everything else now because this is... So I went back and I did the Snowfall Dive. I did all of that. And I was like, wow, the ability that you have to make like these really hard stories or stories that like people get shunned for being addicts, especially like women, and like, you know, you make it so human. And so like, man, I'm just going through what I'm going through right now.
Thank you.
And when you came on camera with Ty in Harlem, I hated Ty. I did not like Ty at all, but you made me like her.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
What do you do? What's the preparation for that? Or is that just like a God-given, like...
I mean, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of God. Honestly, it's a mixture of really honing my craft and taking classes. Mm-hmm. It's also a mixture of bringing my own authenticity because we've all liked somebody that maybe everybody else hated. Like that our friends or our family wasn't really rocking with, or our, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like...
You gotta give them a name in the group chat, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really brought that authenticity of like, you know, well, what is it that I like about them?
Right.
What is it that appeals to them, to me? Mm-hmm. And focus on that. Like, there's some things where it's like everybody may say, oh, I can't stand the way that person dressed. And then the guy's like, I ain't fresh. So, you know, it's like, hey, but you think, you're like, you know what he is.
Like, everybody's like, girl. Just in the photo, too, and they be like, that's all you got.
So, you know, I just focused on that, and then I did not judge my storyline or my character. So many people judge their character. That's why they're not going to play at it, because they feel it's not sexy. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, maybe it's you got to be sexy 365.
Yeah.
Like, so just truly understanding, don't judge a character, don't judge your storyline, and then you can approach it with authenticity. You can approach it with humanity.
Were you ever particular about choosing roles that you could do that in? Like, was that like a strategic thing? Like, hey, I want to be able to show humanity through these characters, so the characters have to be A, B, C, and D, or you're like, let me see just what this is and where I can, kind of fit?
No, I don't really have a don't do except for I don't want to play a slave. That's just not a storyline that I want to perpetuate. There's so many actors and actresses that can have that opportunity, that would love that opportunity. There are people that would never play, again, an addict. There are people that never would play a stripper. I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. That is a story that is very truthful. And slavery is truthful. It did happen. Slavery happened. It was not a choice. And I don't judge anybody who plays a slave. Like, go on, get your Oscar. Do that. Do you. I think that is great. But that's just not something I want to do. And I feel we each have our own won't do's.
Got you.
So it's okay. I'm glad somebody don't want to play an addict or a dancer because it's for me.
Got you. Can you describe a moment when you truly felt your own power?
Oh, 2016, for the first time, I went to Ghana and I was standing by the water at One Africa and I was just like, oh. It dawned on me that I could do anything in the world that I want. Like, I could accomplish anything. Like, I mean, I'm a sad child, I know that. But it was a different level of, like, it was tangible then. So I knew I was going to return to the States and just, like, baby, I'm finna take over.
Now, taking it back to Harlem again, I was having a conversation with my guy friends. One of the things that I took from the group chat after they watched it, they were like, Megan Good don't take accountability for her actions. And that's what y'all women be doing.
Ooh, they be quick to say that.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what they said.
They were so happy that she was supposedly in some episodes not taking accountability. And they couldn't wait. They can't wait to find an example of a woman who ain't nothing.
Girl. Because then you got on the other side, you have the women who feel like, oh, Ian is a F-boy. Megan shouldn't. Why did she get pregnant? Her life is over. And that hits her at some point in these last couple episodes. The last 2 episodes, by the way, I think the way they dropped them, where they dropped the 2 at the time, I love that because I have something to watch. But it made me so sad because now it's over, which I wish it wasn't, and I don't understand why it is. Like, I don't get that at all. The show is really, really good. It's worth, and the storylines need more seasons. There's so much more to talk about. Your character was just getting us started. I feel like you and Ty had a lot to develop.
But I'm working on this new motto. We give thanks. We don't complain.
We giving thanks for what we get to see.
We got to watch it. We got to see Black representation. All of us had a job. I'm grateful. So I'm just like, it's ended. It was so great.
Oh my God.
It was so beautiful.
I was crying. I
felt so seen.
Did you cry?
I cried. I boohooed.
I was like, scene or like
both.
Okay.
Both.
I cried a lot. You made me cry.
Even when I left. So when I rapped that day, oh my God, I was like crying, like drinking and crying. But
so 2 parents from like the deep south of Florida, and I know originally, I mean, your name is Gail Mitchell, but you go as Gail Bean. Bean is a nickname that you were given as a family nickname?
No, it's a college. Like, when I had some friends who, they from the east side, you know.
We back.
And they called everything Bean. They mean, like, pass me that bean. What's up, Bean? Hey, shut that bean.
It's like,
where's
John.
that lighter bean? Yeah. And then they were like, Gail Bean, change your name on Facebook, change your name on Instagram. And then I did that. It's like, people thought that was my name. So, and at first, you know, the mentality of having to unlearn, I thought I really wanted to get it out the mud. Like, who wants that? No. So my dad, he played in the NFL, coached in the NFL.
Got you.
So I wanted to kind of create that. Now, he's my favorite person in the world, great father. I love him to death. But I wanted to create that separation to say, oh, I did it on my own. I didn't need no help. And, like, people didn't give me no handouts. I will take whatever handout, whatever help. Like, let me tell you something. Give it all.
Yeah.
And so that's why I created Mitchells Are Born Winners, the hashtag. That's why that's my production company as well. And I don't mind if people call me Gail Mitchell, but I stick with Gail Bean because what a lot of people is like, you also don't know me like that.
Right.
So I'm going to say my Mitchell for the people who know me and who truly understand. You know, Future got this song, he'd be like, if you knew what it took, if you knew, like, people who know
that's Mitchell.
What it took. Yeah, like, I feel like Mitchell is earned, you know. Bean was given. So I'm a rock with that. And then I feel like I just love it. It's got a ring to it now.
Okay, all right. Women's History Month,
Yes.
March.
Yes.
I know you're a girl's girl.
Uh-huh.
In a Gail Bean world, if things were correct, what would Women's History Month look like, and what does it, and what would that symbolize for you?
In a Gail Bean world, Women's History Month would be the start of year-long support for women. So, okay, maybe this is the month that you start initiatives or programs or funding for year-long support for women. Women's History Month would be combating the Malcolm X quote of the black woman being, you know what I'm saying, like, protect us, respect us, give us attention. Black women, all women, to be honest, but as a black woman, being celebrated and feeling celebrated by not just like the people in my life who know and love me, but even by a stranger. Like, you know, it's Women's History Month.
Right.
As a stranger, if tell me I look beautiful today, a woman walking by, compliment her. It's Women's History Month.
Right.
So do something for a woman that you don't know.
You talked about feeling seen on Harlem set, and I know there are a lot of women who feel seen because of the role that you play with Eva, because she is a woman in a lesbian relationship on screen, on camera. You guys are affectionate. It like, you just feel the love. I don't even think that, you know, the fact that it's you and another woman comes into conversation. It's just about love in the relationship, which is hard to do because people critique everything. What did you want people to take away as a woman from that part of the character?
I wanted women to understand that, like I said earlier, softness is a choice, and it doesn't have to necessarily come from your mate. Like, maybe just how we tired, maybe tired too. Maybe we can show up soft. You know, maybe the softness doesn't have to come as a result.
Explain the show up soft, because I know what you mean, but I think you get into something good.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like show up healed, show up a little bit understanding sometimes. You know, show up with peace. Show up making the choice to not argue today. Show up,
argue tomorrow.
Communicate tomorrow. Don't even communicate today, because you need to process it through sometimes for me, give me a day. I'm not ready. It's not gonna come out right. So when I say show up soft, like understanding that also maybe your perspective, like look at it a different way. Like, yeah, they're tired, they're working, they probably didn't call you back, they probably didn't text you back. Like, you could text them. Maybe they did forget. You could remind them. Like, hit them with a text, you know? And also, when I say show up soft, sometimes, like, listen. Don't always, yes, men fix stuff for us, which is great. But just how we get tired. And again, I know this because I have 5 brothers. So I've seen someone. I'm the only girl. Like, maybe sometimes they don't want to, they can't fix every single problem. They fix all the problems at work, fix all the problems at home. Now, granted, definitely pay all the bills. But sometimes, maybe we lean on our girls. Having a good girl group or lean on our faith.
Yeah.
And when you have your faith, your girl group, your family, it's a lot easier to show up softer in a man's life.
I know I keep going back to Harlem, but that's because I just watched it like 4 times on the road. Ian, and his character, people hate him. And listening to you talk right now, I was yelling a lot of that at the screen at Megan Good.
Yeah.
Because I felt like she put him in such a predicament all the time. And I felt like it was a little bit unfair. And I think he gets unfairly judged by people who watch the show. How do you feel when you hear people talk about Ian's, like how he shows up on camera, feeling how you feel in real life?
Well, you got to think, Megan, she did have a great group of girlfriends. But then look at her relationship with her mama. She don't even want to be a mom because of her mom. You know what I'm saying? And that's your first relationship. And it's hard for you to unlearn that. A lot of times we may struggle with what we've learned from our mom, even if we start to meet good people. Even when we meet a good man sometimes, it's hard for us to unlearn something that another man did. You know what I'm saying? Or a female has done to us. You can meet a good female and it's hard to unlearn, like, you're traumatized. And people don't work through their trauma sometimes before they encounter another person. And then when they encounter that other person, that old trauma comes out when they're triggered.
Right.
So it's like watching people hold Ian accountable for some things is hurtful, because it's like he's a good person.
Because you was holding my girl Ty accountable and it worked. But Ian, sometimes I feel like the people should give him a little bit more grace.
They gotta give him a little bit more grace, but they also, my thing is, the problem and men do this, men try to move on when they haven't fully moved on. So that's the problem.
So petty about
because if he was moved on, Camille would have never been able to kiss him.
You talking about triggered?
So, yeah, it's like, and then men be done fell for the trap of like, well, no, sir, if you moved on and if you here and you would, like, granted, I get it. You get weak. I'm hyped because I be watching Harlem too. No. I get it. You have moments of weakness, but do you know how many dudes we turn down? Do you know how many moments of weakness that we've had to come back? That we had to come back and we stay solid. Man, where's your loyalty? Woo. So, yeah.
I am turning down a DM daily and you go find your best friend that you told me not to worry about?
Yes. Where's your loyalty? And my thing is just stand for something. Stand for something, man.
Or fall for every DM. It's so crazy because when talent is good, when TV shows are good, when movie is good, you feel like you already know the person. So I'm sitting here getting to know you right here, but I feel like through your characters, I've kind of already known you a bit. You in real life did not disappoint. I want you to know that. You showed up exactly how I thought you would be, and I love that when people do that. So I enjoyed this conversation thoroughly.
I love that for me. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. You are amazing. Okay, everybody over here in BT is so great.
Thank you.